Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Um, we're having a bit of fun for today's episode. For the first time ever, I think in our 24 weeks of recording that we have missed 1 week, but there's no harm into that. Tina needed a break. That's what she said. I'm just putting it out there. No, I'm kidding. But it's funny how things turn out to be. We could have recorded, but I think it was in the divine plan. We'll just go with that. We had plans, but the universe chose that it was today that we are supposed to do the recordings. But we are happy to go back on track because it felt so weird. Like last week, we didn't do a recording. So for the first time, listeners, I'm Kirtideva Peruman. Welcome to the Divine Mess. I'm the CEO and founder of the Heroes Mystic, a holistic life coach where we help people to find their inner hero and push through their inner fears and just balance your masculine and divine feminine energies as well. And we started this podcast, The Divine Mess, where we have fun conversation about how you can balance your divine masculine and divine feminine in fun ways. And we normally don't say it out loud about the divine masculine, or this is the divine masculine, or this is the divine feminine. But if you go back and listen to our different episodes, you will find the different ways that we view our situation. And it's always a fun conversation with my co-host, which is Tina Ryan. And I will leave it to her. She will introduce the topic of today, all right? That's what she said.
Bless your heart.
Thank you so much.
Bless. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tina Ryan, and I'm as my friend likes to put it, I am the CEO, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of a company called Dharmas & Co. We help women navigate life-altering experiences, separation, divorce, childbirth, raising teenagers, to find the love within, because we're quite good at doling it all out to everybody else, but not so fabulous in doling it out to ourselves. So I think that maneuvers quite nicely into our topic of today, which is self-sabotage. Hands up, who's been really good at that? That might be a little bit of myself. So I guess for me, it is via not honoring what my body is telling me that I need. And particularly at the moment, it's around food and exercise. So I know and have known for nearly 10 years that eating dairy and eating glutinous products, bread, all the beautiful things, croissant, cakes, all the yummy stuff, it's not good. Not good for me at all. It represents when I wake up in the morning like I have a hangover, like I have drunk bottles and bottles and bottles of wine and my joints ache and I'm very slow to get out of bed. So I took some radical steps a couple of weeks ago and went, I need someone to keep me accountable, because endeavoring to do it on my own, I can do it about 75% of the time. But when I don't do it, Karen, she's very critical. She voices her opinion loudly and strongly as to when I'm not following the so-called rules. So I asked a coach to help me with my diet and exercise routine. And that starts for me early November, so in about a week and a half time. And my coach is an ex-Miss Olympia bodybuilding coach. So for me, it's a question of what's possible when I have got ample support. I think self-sabotage comes when we don't stick our hand up and we don't say, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of going through the motions and thinking that I know what I'm doing. It's not a sign of weakness to put your hand up and say, hey, I need some help. Like you are an expert, so can you please help me? But it comes down to, I think, investing in ourselves. Like if we don't spend the time and the effort to invest in ourselves to see what is possible, I think we only scratch the surface 9 times out of 10 in thinking what our bodies can do or what our minds can do or how much weight we can carry, be it physical or emotional. And so for me, it's been a big thing over the last month or so, and also working with my other coach, because coaches need coaches. Trust me, we're all humans and we need some help. She said, Teen, you're not really good at asking for help. I'm like, I know. And that goes right back to when I was about knee-high to a grasshopper and was told that I needed to be independent and that I needed to take care of stuff on my own because my mum was raising a baby who had health issues. And I understand from a parent's perspective, but when you're a small person, you kind of go, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not flavour of the month anymore? So trust me, when we're doing the work, we find the reasons why we do what seems logical and normal in our adult life, and it's not. So I've been on this fun roller coaster journey for the last little while to understand why I keep putting barricades in my way to being successful in all areas of my life. And I finally got sick of my own internal rhetoric and went, no, you're done, kiddo. And you need to step up and be the best version of yourself. And I want to see if I can look like Linda Hamilton from the Terminator. That's my thing. I'm very interested to see how I can morph my body through eating things that I know nourish me and doing exercise that I know is going to carry me forward for the next season of my life. So that for me has been my little morsel of going, I am no longer weighing myself down. I am going to step up and go, what is possible for me? So that's my bit, Mr. D. How about your bit? How have you put the kibosh on yourself?
Well, I have been trying to rehearse the word you are just saying, self-sabotage, because the way I say it's like sounds Frenchy. So I've been rehearsing. But what I want to say, people might be wondering, like, what is self-sabotage, how it manifests, and I from my perspective, it's like I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy of that. So sabotage in the word, it's that, yeah, you can you hear me?
Yeah, it's going to be wonky. Your mic's being a bit funny.
I can hear it as well. Now it's better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about in the word itself, it's like you're not allowing yourself to like, for happiness, for example, to be joyful, to be receiving gift, to be receiving compliment. And it comes down to those little things when you're others, when you're thinking so much about others that you're focusing on others and then you forget yourself.
Yes.
And that's how I feel self-sabotage. Sorry, my mic is doing a bit weird thing. It's going on and off.
It is.
I don't know what's happening. I think the universe is not willing me to say those things out loud. It's just, it happened. And I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Where's your sexy Rode mic that you used to use?
Yeah, well, it doesn't connect. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening, but we'll just go with it. And or else it. Oh, I think it's the universe saying that Tina is on a solo episode for now.
Oh, go away.
See,
Lord have mercy.
You said to go away. So I'm just trying to just see how it goes.
Yes.
If not, it's not working. Now it's better.
Oh, it's 1,000% better.
Okay.
Can hear
So
all
we'll
that
just-
delightful French accent all in surround sound.
And now everyone can hear you as well. So this is the fun technical
Exactly.
part.
This is just us going with the flow, because do you know what? I think most people would have gone, stop record. We're not recording. We're not meant to record today. Sabotaging our efforts in getting things done. But I think it's an unspoken level of commitment that we have to this and what we're doing, and the belief that what we're doing is more important than our own ego places on whether it's perfect or not. We're not perfect. Far, far from it. So you get the perfect and the imperfect all rolled into one when you're having conversations with us, or you're sitting down having a cup of tea or driving your car, or having casual conversations while walking your dog. It comes in all forms and versions. But where do you not allow joy or happiness into your life? And I know you're a deeply spiritual human and reading probably 20 books at once, and sends me all sorts of divine information for me to go, oh, that really hurts my brain. Can you pick a moment where you were not kind to yourself, or you put barricades in the way of doing something that you really desired to do?
I think when good things are happening in my life, like even coming to New Zealand, it's like saying, oh, did you deserve to be there, to be here, you know? Like, because the way it happened, there was several obstacles, like people were saying, oh, it's not going to happen. No one except me saw that vision of coming here, which I didn't. I just knew I'm taking the plane and coming here. That's all I knew. I knew I was going to uni, all of that, but that's it. It stopped there. But I was confident in it. And I think it come down to when I landed, and then after 3 months, I think I briefly mentioned it in one episode. It is like after 3 months, I was like reflecting, because it's like the honeymoon period is over now. It's like different lifestyle, and it's like questioning, oh, am I good enough to stay, or do I deserve to be in this beautiful country? And it's like questioning all of that. Also receiving money, for example, that's a big one. Like in terms of clients paying me, I will be like, well, maybe a discount or something like that. It's like, I think it's self-sabotage as well. Not allowing to receive money, not allowing to feel joy in terms. It started back, I think, since like the teenage or before that, because I think the teenage years were, the teenage years. I just said yes in Creole. Just telling you how comfortable I am with you right now. So it's the teenage years where I didn't allow myself to feel that joy or being grateful into a great environment with people around me. Like in terms of the school was great, even if you had some bullies, yes. But I think I was, in the end, it turned out like my mind was the biggest bully, because I didn't allow myself to enjoy those times fully to the max. It was like focusing, I think choosing to focus on the shit as well. Shitty times is a self-sabotage as well, because it's like telling myself I don't deserve that happiness. And when things get too good, like if, for example, let's say I had a good day, like it's like, yeah, it's a beautiful day. I went to the gym, I went for swimming, I come back, I had a couple of clients and it's a great day. And then I'm like, oh, that's too good to be true. And like, it's literally happening when I'm coming back from the gym. And I know that timing, it will be like 9 p.m. when I'm leaving the gym, when I'm leaving that. It's like too good to be true. And it's like, it's interesting. Then I tell my mind to shut up, like, come on, you know.
Get
But
back in your box.
yeah, but it's interesting that when good things happen, that I used to go to that default mode, like I'm not allowing myself to enjoy that. But now it's stopped. Like it has, yeah. That was I think like in the first year when I came to New Zealand, that I'm telling you, like when I'm leaving the gym, that's how I would feel, that I'm not allowing that. But over the years, what came out was mostly about my happiness, like when having that good day, that normally comes. It's too good to be true, or it's am I good enough to receive that? Like even starting the podcast, like was at first I was thinking, oh, like my voice, is it worthy? Like you question that at the start. Like it was like way initial. Like I think the day you said like, yeah, let's go for it. It's like that thought came through. But what I'm telling you is like those thoughts come, but I didn't choose to focus on them.
Yeah.
So that's the
how do you transfer that though? Like for yourself, how do you go from a mindset of listening to those thoughts all the time versus, how do you create new neural pathways for yourself where you're not falling into that default mode? Is it being able to recognize it faster that those thoughts are coming in, or do you have certain steps that you put in place to choose a different thought? I think is a Gabby Bernstein line, is choose a better thought, or choose a better thinking thought, or whatever the terminology is.
Yeah. So I tried different techniques, like Gabby is one, she has a 3-step method that she talks about a lot. It's like first you recognize the thought, it's like it's fear, you acknowledge it, and then you move on, like you let it go, surrender, our favorite word, surrender it, and then you like choose a better thought, like you said. But for me, initially, it didn't work. I tried even the 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. But what really worked for me was the motivational videos that you had about the gym, or motivational speakers. That's what really motivated me, for me, like to shift my thoughts, and because they tell stories of what they go through. And for me, athlete, sports, those are the big like the people I look up to. Like even I was I just watched a documentary on the Olympians, like in the US, because there was a high rate of suicide among them when they finished the Olympics. Because their focus of the 4 years was just on getting the gold. And let's say you have a race of 100 meters, it's less than 10 seconds. So you take literally 4 years to train for those at 10 seconds. For the final, for example, that's what I'm saying. But it's like once they leave that, they don't know who they are. And I think it comes down to that as well, because if you don't know who you are, you will sabotage yourself constantly. Because you will say who you truly are. You deserve your soul that deserve happiness, that feels happiness, that's pure love, pure light. That's on the spiritual level, but as a human as well, you deserve the abundance, you deserve the wealth, you deserve all of that. And I think it come down to that, where they didn't feel worthy when they failed. It's like people failed, and then they're like, oh, what do I do next now? And then it's like they focus on the failure instead of the number of times that they choose to get up. You know, like when you're training, for example, like you said, like going to the gym, every single day you're waking up at a certain time now. You know, like you have a set routine and you have it, that's discipline. But your mind will choose to focus on the thought that you didn't want to wake up. And that's self-sabotage again. Because your mind will trick you and see you were lazy, you didn't think of waking up, you didn't want to wake up. Look at those people, like they're in the gym, like let's say you hit the gym at 5 a.m. and you see people already in the parking lot, which means they woke up like earlier than you. But technically they could leave like next door, you know, just saying. Yeah.
Yes, their journey to the gym might have been shorter, or that,
it might, yeah,
you know, whatever their circumstance happened to be. But it doesn't mean to say that every single person in that car park has not had exactly the same thought that you've had about, why am I here? I don't know what I'm doing. What's the purpose of me coming? You know, I think it comes down to being consistent. In loving ourselves enough consistently to keep showing up. But it was interesting, you'd sent me that podcast, the human design one that Lewis Howes had, and the woman that was on there was talking about when we as souls come in for this human experience, we come in with a very clear vision of what our purpose is. But once we arrive, the people that we are birthed through and are surrounded by place all of their fears and their concerns and their way of doing things that almost builds like this layer upon layer upon layer on top of us, so that it's almost, we have to have this unearthing to try and find out who we are and why we're here. So it would be interesting for the listeners to, when that voice is coming in your head about you don't have enough experience, why are you doing this? It's a complete waste of time. They don't really want you, whatever it is. Whose voice is it? Because it may very well not be yours. And then you may have some aha moments about, oh, okay, well, that was my mother-in-law's voice, or that was my ex-husband's voice, or that was my third grade teacher's voice who told me that I wasn't very good at reading. Or there are all these people that have placed their own bias, their own rubbish on top of you. But it's your job to unearth that, to realize that the self-sabotage may actually not be your doing. You know, it's not your divine purpose to sabotage your life. You are here, like David said, to be happy and joyous and live an abundant life, whatever that abundance looks like for you.
And also what I noticed is like, while you were sharing, I just remembered like over the past week, it was last week, one of the mastermind I participated was like one of the girls over there, like she sent me a website where you can just do a assessment, a free report about your saboteur. I'm just saying it in French.
I love it.
Yeah,
doesn't bother me any.
I'm not going to say it in English. It sounds weird for me to say it.
It sounds the
same. Yeah, but it's like there are 10 types according to this person. There are 10
oh wow,
types.
10.
Yeah, there are 10 types. They are like you know, like they are like your people pleasing, something you're avoiding. If you want to rule breaking, all of that, it forms parts of, there are different types that it mentioned, and it's a free report that you can do, that you can choose and go, and that's something I can share on the link in the podcast, like after the podcast is like something we can link send the link that
Yeah.
people can go and just do this. I think it was 25 question or more, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And you get a free report about it and how you can deal with it. And it just give a deeper explanation about it. But obviously, if you want to go deeper into it, they have a course about it. So it's up to you if you want to sign up or not. This is not promoting their website or not. I'm not here to do that, but it's just for you to get an idea about it, like to discover the saboteur inside of you, like what kind. It's like you're saying about the voices, but this is like different personalities, like you said, that can come through it, and it's an interesting concept. Like I never knew about 10 types because that's not something we learn in psychology, because I found that interesting that they have 10 types. And
yeah, I didn't think there'd potentially be 10 types, right?
no, you wouldn't think that there are 10 types. You would think that there would be less, but it's funny how people, like with time and research, they discovered that there are so many types. But it's about a labeling, I feel, because at the end of the day, it comes to that core belief, like I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. I think it comes down to those core beliefs. And for me, the way I work with my clients would be go into those core beliefs instead of labeling this is the type of saboteur that you have within you.
Yeah.
Because for me, it comes down to like archetypes,
Mm.
and people can resonate with that. I'm not saying I can go there if the client resonate with that. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But personally, I would go deeper into the core belief, because I feel that once you uproot that you take that away, you can help that person to shift,
Yes.
like to
Because
shift
labeling
into,
can be quite dangerous, right? In terms
yeah,
of, when you rate yourself in your family that I'm the smart one, or I'm the skinny one, or I'm I'm the funny one, or I'm the naughty one, or whatever the label is that you put on. Like we suggest you investigate things to have a deeper level of understanding about yourself, not in terms of putting all these sticky notes all over your body to go, well, I'm a doctor and I'm a dad and I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm I'm this type of saboteur and all of these things. No, it's just the greater level of understanding that you have about yourself, the better you can understand the people around you, the people that you work with, the people that you meet, and have, I think, a greater level of empathy for what other people are going through. Because 9 times out of 10, when people are coming at you, it's got nothing to do with you. You just act as a mirror for people in what they're trying to process. You're showing them that it can be better, or they can live a more joyous and happy life, or it's just gaining knowledge. And the more knowledge that we gain provides us with a deeper remembrance of who we actually are and what we're here to do. We've got to try and remove all the sabotaging ways we have of stopping ourselves at the last step, before achieving greatness. You get to the edge of the cliff and you go, or you go to bungee jump. I'm not jumping off that because I am absolutely petrified of heights. But then if I jump, what do I learn about myself? What do I gain? What knowledge does it provide me that I can do really scary things and I'm still alive, but I'm dangling from the end of a rope, or whatever your scary thing is. It could be learning how to swim, or it could be, learning a different language, or there could be lots of scary things. But if we don't try, we're never going to know. We have such amazing capacity to have really rich and full lives. But I think if we stop ourselves because of oh, I'm not smart enough to do that, or, you know, I don't have time to do that, or what will they think if I, you know, start to dress in a particular way? Or it's all the shoulds and the coulds and the have tos and it's just a yucky way to live.
It is. And I was thinking like in terms of the different types of saboteur, you know, like that you have in your life. If you just ask yourself one core question, because that was I was asked that in last week mastermind in that I am part of, is like, what are you avoiding? What are you of? It's not what are the things. It's like, what are you avoiding? So that's it's a different connotation.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel that once you go deeper and just start to write journal about it, what are you avoiding? It will start in the general, and then it's like that funnel, and then you will go down to that deeper, where you don't want to go, where you don't want to swim, where you don't want to jump, you know.
Yeah, where it's a bit icky and a bit uncomfortable, and you feel like your skin doesn't fit your body properly. Like it is just, it's all weird and revolting, but it's asking you to grow. You know, it's like a snake, isn't it? We have to sometimes shed the old skin to be renewed and revived and having a different perspective. It's like just putting on somebody else's glasses, you know. It gives you a new perspective on how to view your world, or looking through a kaleidoscope. It just, you know, it takes a minute turn to go, oh, I didn't know it could be like that. Oh, that's fun. And I'm the world's biggest one for going, I was a control freak, and I just didn't want to try new things because I didn't know what the end result was going to be. So because I didn't know what the end result was going to be, I didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's about like your core values, right? You were talking about your core values, and safety was among one of them.
Correct.
And that resonate with what you just said, you know, and knowing your values and how people can just know their values. If you can just Google, you know, like you go on Google and just write 100 top values and see what resonate with you.
Yeah.
Narrow it down to 50, maybe. Narrow it down to 25. Go back to 10 and then 5.
Yeah.
And then you will get your core values, and maybe to three core values, and that will give you your top 3, or you will know, see what resonate with you. And sitting down with those feelings that you were talking about, icky, it's I don't want to go there, and people who are not saying, Tina is dancing actually right now,
wriggling in my chair, like
yeah,
you know, like you're wearing someone else's clothes. That's what it kind of feels like. It's, you know, it's too tight, or you can't get the zipper done up, or you're wearing a jacket that, you know, is constricting your shoulders, that you're not allowing yourself to take up space. We're here to be able to take up space, to be truly ourselves. And if we consistently sabotage our efforts to try new things on, like, you know, try a different way of dressing, or a different way of doing our hair, or wearing makeup, or the shoes, or trying a new career, or all of those things, if we don't test and measure, how will we ever know whether we truly love something, whether it sets our soul on fire and turns us into a light, and then we become magnetic, and then people are like, oh, what are you doing? Because you look different, you know, and you really, in your own mind, you haven't really changed much, but people see the difference because you shine differently.
Yeah.
You move differently, you vibrate differently. So people just like, oh, you look really good. What's going on? You know, what's happening? Like, oh.
Because, yeah, you're stepping in your true self. That's what's happening. And
Correct.
it can be shown in your energy, the way you dress, or the way you look. But it's not the physical as appearance. It's the, your inner world is shifting. And by looking into what kind of voices, like you said, like it's like going to a basketball game and seeing at like what's at the core, like who is by your side, who is on the court side for you, who is supporting you, who is going to value you. And that's what you need to focus on. It's looking into what are the voices currently. Just ask yourself right now, wherever you are, what are the voices that you're hearing in your voice? Like, is it your own voice, or it was so believable over time that you had to believe it's your own voice? And just ask yourself that. Because sometimes people think that when they are over time, they believe it's their voice, but actually it's not their voice. And like Tina said earlier, it's about, is it like your mother-in-law, your ex-husband, your ex-wife, or whoever it is that mock you? Just ask yourself right now, the voices of the fears, doubts, low vibe energies, are they your voice? Or is it like just there to sabotage your true self? Because when you're missing out to step into your true self, the world is missing out on you. The world is missing out on your light. And that's not healthy for anyone, because when they are missing, when we are not seeing your light, when we are not seeing you, when you're not doing the work, well, the world is missing on your light, and that's not helping anyone. And sometimes when you feel, and that's something we talk about, like in the first few episodes, when we said, like, when you don't want to do something for you, well, stop doing it for someone else. And especially for moms, I have worked with a lot of moms. I noticed, like, if you tell them to do it for their kids, it's like their energy just rise up. Like, you don't know where it's coming from. They just got it. And so I tell moms, look, if you don't want to do it for you, well, start being a model for your kids.
Yeah.
And if it's too difficult for you at the moment, well, think of them. And I think that weight will just lift off magically, because there are so many research that have shown how mom, when they have to save their kid, they can actually lift a car. And there are actually studies on that. Like, they can actually, and it shows you the power of love, right? How many things you can actually do, but your mind is like tricking you in thinking like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. And I feel that nowadays the biggest saboteur is like our phone, our screen, the Netflix, right? All of that has come into our life because we're just one click away from anything.
Yeah.
So we believe, like, when we go to the gym, it's like just one run, we will be slim, right?
That is the world's biggest lie God ever created.
Yeah, like, and now studies are showing, like, even if you run on treadmill, it doesn't mean you will get slimmer. It's not true. Even how many core abs you do, it doesn't mean the belly fat will go, because it has so many factors. Even your sleep contribute to your weight. Even how your stress level contribute to your weight. All of that. And people say they are stress eating. That's a way of self-sabotage again. Because you're afraid maybe of looking good or feeling good. You might be like saying, no, I want to feel good. Are you?
Exactly.
Are you ready for that? People say, yeah, I want like 1 million or 1 billion. Then you see them winning the lottery, and what happened? 90% of lottery winners across the world are broke within 4 to 5 years. And they're proof of it.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thing, particularly when we're talking about nutritional health and physical health, where someone does ask you and says, are you ready? Are you ready? Because you will think, you will feel, you will act different. And there will be a lot of people in your world that will fall away because they're very comfortable with you being and acting the same way, doing the same things, Netflixing and chilling, going to the pub, drinking a bottle of wine, all of these habitual patterns that you have in your life that they're very comfortable with, because it means that it's consistent and they can recognize that consistency. But the minute you begin to prioritize yourself and go, no, I'm sorry, I can't come to the pub, or yes, I can come to the pub, but I'm not drinking, or I won't be eating pub food, I'll eat before I come, or let's go for a walk down the park instead of sitting and going to the movies. Or it is uncomfortable for them, therefore they're the ones saying to you, oh, do you really have to go to the gym today? Oh, do you really have to eat like that? What are you eating like that for? And so they're playing the saboteur in your life because it's making them uncomfortable, in making them start to look at their lives, what they're putting in their mouths, how much movement they're doing within their day, do they love their jobs? All of it causes people to question, and people like it a lot when you just bury all the dead bodies under the carpet and smush it down and pretend like your life is rosy, when on the inside you're probably pretty miserable. So be aware that if you do choose to not listen to the Karens and the Nigels in your head trying to tell you that you should and shouldn't be doing things, that you may need to find a new group of humans to spend time with, that it may cause disruption in your romantic partnerships, or disruption with your children, or disruption with your work colleagues or your friends. Be aware that you're disrupting your patterns, and by doing that, it's going to create waves in your life, and you're going to have to get very good at riding them, particularly if you are honest with yourself about the results that you want to achieve. If you want to grow spiritually, if you want to grow in your work environment by going and doing more training, if you want to grow, muscle on your body, if you want to lean down, if you want to stop going to the cupboard looking for sugary snacks all the time, if you want to numb yourself out by sitting in front of the TV and not being aware of what's going on, or having conversations with your family about the consistent patterns that happen in your household, like you're the only person standing up cooking and doing the dishes, and everybody else is quickly evaporated into bedrooms and they're not there to support you or act as a unit. They're hard questions to ask, but if you have the courage to sit down and do it, you'd be amazed at how different your life can look. But it takes consistent effort to get the kids off the gaming, off watching TV, to get them in the kitchen, to teach them new skills. Because trust me, I'm going through it at the moment with a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. I struggled with my two boys, and now my two bonus babies. I'm going through exactly the same struggles, and we're endeavoring to come up with really interesting ways of showing them it's really important to take care of your physical health, and to not lay in bed and play games, or be on your phone, or play on your computer, or do those things. To get up, be active, see what's going on outside of your darkened bedroom, because teenage boys like caves. They're very happy in caves. They don't like sunlight. So, they are to a degree sabotaging themselves because it's comfortable and it's safe and they know what to expect. But the minute they start to come out and go, oh, I didn't know I could cook that. Or, oh, I didn't know I could, how good it would feel to have a clean and tidy house. You know, all of these things that we're endeavoring to teach them so that when they go out into the world, they're good humans that we would like to know and spend time with. So we can't sabotage their potential by not instilling these values and virtues within them. We as parents have to travel the hard road and have the arguments and why are you making me do this, so that we get these beautiful humans in the end. But trust me, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be the policeman when it comes to stopping them sabotaging themselves, to take that weight on. And I'm sure most of the parents listening would completely understand the position that we are in at the moment. And if you have any brilliant ideas, please share them, because sometimes having to come up with all of the concepts is a little mind numbing.
I'm sure people listening right now can resonate with you, especially parents that have teenagers, and it's it's a bit difficult to explain to a teenager that you're self-sabotage, but to an adult, it might take a while for people to understand the concept, but once you dive in, you will see, well, actually all my life, or I've been doing it in certain situation, or when I get triggered in certain way. So it's about asking yourself, and obviously if you need guidance and on that journey, feel free to connect with us. Like in every episode we say, like, we are available on our social media, and we both have our website. And don't hesitate to contact us so that we can help you on your journey as well. And I feel that's a good time to close our episode for today, because I feel there's a lot like happening within when you will hear those messages, and that will make you reflect, but ask yourself this question: what are you avoiding right now? And I think you can come up with your answer. And Netflix is not going to help. Avoiding for it for long is not going to help anyone. So tap into your light. And I know, like, these past few weeks, especially for people who are empath, like with the 2 eclipses, that in our spiritual world we have been saying, there's a lot of cleansing, there's a lot of karmic cleansing that has happened. So if you have been feeling it, you're not alone.
Yeah.
So just letting you know.
Well,
so thank you
as we like to close off, we love you and we appreciate you, and we're so grateful that you choose to tune in and share your most valuable commodity, which is your time. So until episode 24, we wish you a blessed day, and go and share your light with people, because people need it.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. So see you next week.
Ciao.